We're here to bring a new type of news show.
New insights, new styles, and new topics every day.
We are News Generation.
Bringing news just for you. It's Wednesday, December 24th here in Seoul. I'm Lee Soo-jin, and this is News Generation. Joining us today is Kyun.
Thanks for having me. Happy Christmas Eve.
Happy Christmas Eve, and also Rashida's with us.
Yes, good to be here and Merry Christmas.
Merry early Christmas. Both are here to speak on behalf of people in their 20s and 30s. So we're halfway through the week, but this Wednesday feels a little different because it's Christmas Eve. Christmas might be a major family holiday in many countries, and it's like that here in Korea too, but here it has its own unique vibe. So for our overseas viewers who might be curious, what does Christmas in Korea really look like, Rashida?
Okay, so on the way to work, I saw a Christmas tree at the entrance of the office. Cafes play Christmas carols, and even the subway is decorated with trees and the Salvation Army's red donation kettles. So overall, the city feels like it was filled with a festive mood. Yeah,
I think just coming to work, you can also feel the vibes. What about you, Kyun?
To be honest, it really depends where you go in Korea during Christmas to really feel how much Christmas is actually celebrated here and all the overall, festive vibe. Mind you, Korea is a religiously mixed country, so Christianity is not the main source of religion here in Korea. But the general atmosphere is filled with excitement as it is the last month of the year, towards the end of the year as well, so where many Koreans would have their year-end gatherings with their work colleagues, friends, and even family members, and it's called 송년회 in Korean. So I think because Christmas falls at this particular time of year, Koreans in general seem to get more into the festive celebrating mood, that is. But it's a little different to other countries in the sense where we don't always put up a Christmas tree in every household, including my home. Or we don't really necessarily give each other Christmas gifts. Back in, it's very different to how it was in Australia where I used to live. And we don't really have festive meals with carols playing in the background, unless you go to these big department stores or even cafes. However, although it is a Christian holiday celebrating the birth of Jesus Christ, there isn't a big religious feel to it in Korea there is also a big religious feel to it in Korea as we see more Buddhist temples these days that actually put up Christmas trees. So it's actually, it goes beyond religion and it's just become a more festive, I guess, time of the year here in Korea as well.
Right, I think Christmas trees are everywhere. It's a big part of how people celebrate in Korea. I have to check out the ones at the Buddhist temples as well.
You should.
There's so much to talk about regarding this topic, so we're going to dive deeper into this. But first, let's take a look at the screen. Christmas is a holiday celebrated around the world, often beyond religion or tradition. Even in the middle of winter, cities are warmed by festive lights, decorations, and the familiar sound of carols filling the streets, and Korea is no exception. Christmas markets are bigger than ever, and just as importantly, the way people celebrate the holiday is changing, reflecting shifts in family structures, lifestyles, and values. So today on News Generation, we're taking a closer look at how people in Korea really spend Christmas, from what a typical Korean Christmas looks like to why more young people are choosing to spend the day alone, and some practical tips on how to enjoy Christmas in Korea, whether you're with others or on your own. So as we just saw in the video, Christmas in Korea is no longer just one fixed tradition. It's becoming more diverse and more personal. Some people spend it with family, others with friends or partners, and more young people are choosing to enjoy the day on their own in ways that suit their lifestyle. So what about Korea? So how do people in Korea typically spend Christmas, Kyun?
Adding to what I said in the beginning, Christmas is not the main holiday celebrated here in Korea because we have the Lunar New Year's, 설날, and of course Chuseok, Thanksgiving Day. So people usually only take just one day off on Christmas, and they go back to work the next day. However, in many European cultures, including Americas and Oceania, people take an extended break from around Christmas time through to New Year's, as it's considered one of the biggest and longest holidays there. And since Koreans only have one day off, it is usually spent with loved ones for those who obviously have couples or with friends who are actually just single. So there's just friends who are single, they just meet up separately and have drinks. Or some just spend it with families at home without so much of a big celebration with like festive Christmas food. But I guess because it's a day off, they just kind of gather together with family members, just have a good hearty meal. But it's, I guess, a little more toned down compared to other Western or European cultures, for sure.
In terms of like the amount of days I guess people take off, it is a bit different, but I feel like Korea in recent years especially has really got into the Christmas mood. Like the city of Seoul also has a Seoul Winter Festival as well that we also talked about.
We're going to talk about very soon.
Right, and also I'm personally curious, so how do people in Brunei then spend Christmas?
So like in Brunei, Christmas is celebrated on a smaller and quieter scale, mainly by the Christian minority and expatriate community. So people who observe it usually attend church services and exchange gifts, and the celebrations are very family oriented, and it is common for friends and relatives to visit one another by invitation. So while Christmas is recognized, it does not have a large public presence, as number of Christians in Brunei is relatively small compared to other festive occasions.
That's really interesting. So we also want to know what you think too. So we asked on the Arirang News YouTube channel, what characterizes the Christmas season in Korea? So here's what the results showed. The majority point to the visual atmosphere across the city. Nearly 70% said Christmas trees displayed throughout urban areas are the most defining feature. This was followed by Christmas carols heard on the streets at 16%, and far fewer response associate the season with Salvation Army donation kettles, which accounted for just 9%, while 6% cited other elements. So this result suggests that in Korea, Christmas is experienced as a visual and atmospheric season. And just walking around the city, you can see different decorations and all those carols ringing out as well. And definitely Christmas has been woven into everyday life as well, something people see and feel as they move through public spaces, even if they don't actively celebrate it in a more traditional way. So also, speaking of more less traditional ways, so Kyun, more people are spending Christmas alone. So can you tell us more about this?
Yes, we are actually. And to give our viewers a clearer comparison and the change, let's take a look at the screen. So according to a study by the Policy Institute at King's College London, among people aged 21 to 34, there was a significant rise in young people spending Christmas alone, with 1 in 11 people expected to be alone in 2024 compared to 1 in 100 in 1969. So it basically means there are more people spending lonelier Christmases these days compared to 25 years ago, where literally everyone spent Christmas with someone else. And in Japan, there's a combination of Christmas and buchi, which means alone. So it's called kuribuchi, meaning basically spending Christmas alone. And it's very similar to the Korean term 솔크’, meaning, obviously spending Christmas alone. And reports say 39% of single men in their 20s and 30s, in their 20s, and 30% of women in their 20s actually chose to spend Christmas alone. So they're all part of the kuribuchi tribe, I guess, who prefer to just be alone in Christmas instead of like having that kind of festive feeling where everyone has together in the big dinner table having dinner. So things are definitely changing, especially after I think COVID-19 as well.
Oh, that makes sense.
People have just become a bit more, I guess, individualized, trying to avoid contact with other people, and it's kind of embedded into our new change behavior.
I mean, obviously, I was aware of the term 솔크 because it's Korean. I didn't know that also existed in Japan, but I guess it makes sense because both Japan and Korea have a lot of more single-person households. I mean, God, it's not. There's like a term for it. It's not really something that people should be, embarrassed about. And now it's like more celebrated.
Well, I mean, like I used to spend a lot of Christmases alone. I was fine with that.
Right.
But I'm happier now. Much happier now.
So and beyond the numbers, this shift is also showing up in pop culture and everyday conversation. So why do you think spending Christmas alone is becoming more socially acceptable, especially among younger people?
I think probably because ideas about happiness and social life have changed. So many young people now value personal comfort and mental well-being more than following social expectations. As solo activities like watching movies alone or taking solo trips have become normal, being alone is no longer seen as lonely or sad, but as a positive choice. So social media also plays a role, as public figures like Karina recently shared on her social media that she's planning to spend the Christmas alone. And even as for me, I'm also planning to spend the Christmas alone.
Do you have any other special plans of what you want to do?
I don't really have any plan, but if my friend invited me to go out, I would probably just accept it. Yeah.
But there's
Otherwise,
definitely
alone.
Right. I feel like there's definitely a growing number of people, and seeing people like Karina do it, it's like more acceptable now. So to get another view on this, we'll be speaking with someone from abroad who's very familiar with the Christmas celebrations in Seoul, and that conversation will come right after the break. So don't go anywhere.
NewsGen wants to hear from you. Go to YouTube and search out Channel Arirang News. Click Posts and cast your vote in the poll. Make a new type of news with us.
Joining us today is Brittany, a young person from America. So hi, Brittany. Thank you so much for connecting with us today on Christmas Eve.
Hi, thank you so much for having me.
So what are your plans for this Christmas and the end of the year?
So basically the same as every year. I hang out with my best friend, who is basically my family at this point, Miss Brooke Prince, also one of your panelists, who is unfortunately not here today. We'll get together, we exchange gifts, we'll binge watch, something on Netflix or whatnot, and end the night at a PC bong playing League of Legends, like we always do. And because of the time difference, I'll have the next day as well to, video call with my family and spend actual Christmas in America with them as well. And I'll be able to call my boyfriend as well, who lives in the States.
Oh, that's very sweet. And playing League of Legends on Christmas sounds pretty fun. I should try it one day. Anyway, well, what is Christmas like in the US, and how do you think it's different from the way it's celebrated here in Korea?
So in America, Christmas is our biggest holiday. And if a large majority of people, regardless of religious affiliations, also take part in festivities and traditions. It's really a time where everything kind of slows down and you get to enjoy the company of those you love. Of course, you exchange gifts. Christmas Eve is, really big. That's when, everybody gets together and, you eat your good food and you prepare for the day ahead. In Korea, it kind of feels more like an aesthetic holiday, like Valentine's Day, where it's couples and friends that get together and go out. You still have your lights and, the trees are up, but it's not a gigantic ordeal like it is in the States. For us, it's the, biggest travel time of the year, which I know for Korea, that's Chuseok. In America, it feels more like a holiday you spend time with. It's like who you come home to. And in Korea, it's about who you go out with.
Yeah, that's true. I do agree with that Christmas here is more for couples than family, I think. Yeah, so can you describe the most memorable Christmas you spent in Korea?
So, you know how cold Korean winters can be. I had been complaining a lot to Brooke about how cold I had been that year. It had been like the worst. It was a couple years ago, and it had been the worst that I had been, because I usually don't get that cold, but that year it was just kind of brutal for me. And even though she had given me an amazing gift, what really stood out to me was that she included just a pack of warm, fuzzy socks in her gift. And to me, to be loved is to be known. So that really, touched me. I'm gonna cry. I'm sorry. It was just something that, meant so much to me. And out of all of the gifts that I've received throughout all of the years, that one always just stands out in my mind as my favorite.
I really hope Brooke is watching this right now live.
I think she is.
I think it's so special that you mentioned the most memorable thing for you was the gifts that someone gave you. I think that really means a lot, probably to Brooke as well. And also, you told us briefly before the show that this is your 7th Christmas in Seoul, so I hope you'll be staying warm this Christmas as well.
Yes.
Great. So thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you.
Thank you. Have
Merry
a good
Christmas. Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
So we just heard from someone from the US about what her Christmas plans look like this year and how celebrating Christmas in Korea can feel both familiar and surprisingly different from back home. Now, one thing she touched on was the atmosphere, and that brings us to Christmas markets, which are personally my favorite thing to go visit during Christmas. And these markets have long been a staple of the holiday season in Europe, actually, but in recent years, they've really taken off here in Korea as well. So how did Christmas markets first start appearing in Seoul, and what sparked kind of their rise, I guess, in popularity?
So to begin, Christmas markets are a traditional European winter outdoor festival where people sell, food, drinks, and crafts, anything related to Christmas. And there are sometimes live performances as well. Now in Korea, there weren't regular Christmas markets in the past, but from a decade or two ago, it started appearing in Seoul, and it's become quite common now, and a lot of them are actually running every year. And a good example would be the Gwanghwamun Christmas Market, operated by the Seoul Metropolitan Government. It's held right in the middle of the city at Gwanghwamun Square, so you can enjoy a Christmas atmosphere at the very heart of Seoul. There's a large tree, as you can see, and the entire square is decorated with Christmas lights. So it's especially recommended to visit at nighttime, of course. And also there's another place called the Lotte Christmas Village in Jamsil. It's also a great option for people who actually want to see these Christmas decorations and trees. It has both indoor and outdoor decorations, and it even has a carousel. And I actually live nearby this place, so I had the chance to see it during the day. The tree was massive, with beautiful and lots of Christmassy gifts and things to buy inside the markets. But with all Christmas decoration, it is best to see at nighttime with all the decorations and lights. Yeah.
So I actually went to that Christmas market this past
You live
weekend.
nearby as well?
I also
Yes,
live
yes,
nearby,
yes.
and it's a two-story carousel. So
Is
it is. And
I
then
didn't get too close to the carousel because I'm not a big fan of riding carousel because I'm too
Really?
big for it and old for it. But anyways, it's 2 stories?
It's 2 stories,
Okay.
and also the food is incredible. So if you're missing European markets, there's not much to miss because it's right here in Seoul. So also, what stands out is how these markets are no longer just about shopping. They've become full-scale seasonal experiences. So are there any other Christmas markets in Seoul right now, Sheila?
Yes, so Yeouido, the Hyundai Winter Market, has the advantage of being entirely indoors, so visitors can actually enjoy it without worrying about the cold. This year's theme is cottage, and which features attractions such as Santa's house, a letter writing workshop, a gift workshop, a wrapping studio, and even Rudolph's house. And in addition, Myeongdong Shinsegae's Christmas Land is another must-see destination. Each year, the department store transforms its building exterior with a stunning Christmas media facade, which draws large crowds. So once the show begins after 6 p.m., people line up along the street to take photos and soak in the festive atmosphere.
So I actually went to the one in Yeouido as well. And I would say that one's really good for pictures, and like you said, it's and also Brittany said earlier, it's really cool. So that's also a really good option if you want anything to do indoors. So, but of course, not everyone has elaborate plans, and it's also becoming more common too. So for anyone wondering how to enjoy Christmas in Korea without over planning, what would you recommend? Do you have any tips on how to make the best of this year's Christmas scheme?
So in Korea, you can enter big churches and Catholic cathedrals, even if you're not a believer. And they often hold Christmas cultural performances for free. So if you don't have any special plans and don't have much to do, you can actually visit these big churches because they're everywhere. They're scattered. There's one in Myeongdong as well. So I mean that could be one option. But I think just staying at home and just wrapping up the year and thinking back of all the achievements, all the highs and lows. And what I usually do is I just try to jot down what I did throughout the year, on a monthly basis, and all the great things that I did or things that I could have done better. So just to recap this year and just to wind down and not to do too much because we have to get to work the next day.
Don't go overboard. That's a good
one day
tip,
off. So
right.
just take time out, just slow down for that moment. If you can, exchanging gifts is another great way to really celebrate Christmas. If there is someone that can actually get you a gift. It's all about exchanging gifts. It's not a one-way thing. So, if you do have a close friend like Brittany, exchanging gifts could be another great option.
Yeah, making people feel seen and known is really important, clearly. On a more practical level, what if you want to go out but didn't manage to book anywhere in advance? I know things to get really booked early here in Korea.
Yeah, so like if you want to do something special on Christmas, you usually need to make like reservations in advance. So if you haven't, using apps like Catch Table to find restaurants with available seats can be helpful and make planning your route much easier.
I think that was a very practical tip.
Yep.
So Christmas in Korea isn't defined by just one tradition or one way of celebrating. So whether it's strolling through a Christmas market, enjoying the city lights, spending time with others, or choosing to spend the day on your own, the season has become more about creating a moment that feels meaningful to you. So however you choose to celebrate, the spirit of Christmas here continues to evolve, and it's clear that Christmas this year offers something for everyone to enjoy. So that brings us to the end of today's episode of News Generation. But News Gen will be back on Friday at 10:30 a.m. Korea time with more stories and discussions. A big thanks to Q.
Thanks for having me, and Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas to you too, and also Rosita.
Yes, thank you for having me and have a lovely Christmas.
You too. And to our viewers, thank you for joining us and Merry Christmas. So we are News Generation.